out there, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, November 25th, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw. Alright, so let's kick things off talking about Adam Pearce's announcement. He revealed the new women's Intercontinental title. He started talking about how he said the IC title is a workhorse title of the WWE, and that he wants to present the women their own symbol of excellence. Now, when they introduced the women's US title on SmackDown, I know Michael Cotto originally said it was going to float between Raw and SmackDown. However, when you looked at the bracket, it was all SmackDown. It was all SmackDown wrestlers, which led to speculation that they were going to create a women's IC title. We also find out that the tournament's going to begin next week to crown the first champion. So this is what the IC title looks like. It's literally the same as the male, except it's literally the same thing as the male, seriously, as bronze. You know, I like this. I like how they added the blue to the design. I think it adds to it. So, what did you guys think of the title? You know, the only difference between this and Braun Breakers is that it's white, literally, because bronze is black. So, you know, let me see. We don't need the title unless they are retiring the women's tag titles. If anyone should win, it should be the women's IC champion, Dakota Kai. I agree. Dakota has not. Let me see. I think we're getting the women's US title exclusive to SmackDown and the women's title exclusive to Raw. I can see that, and I agree with you, Io. Dakota Kai has certainly earned the right to be the first women's Intercontinental champion. Why she never became NXT Women's Champion is beyond me, but I wouldn't mind Dakota Kai being the first champion here. Now I wonder if, maybe next year during this brand split, these titles will switch. So I'm happy that this means more opportunities for the women, which is great, because they have more opportunities now that they have this mid-card title. However, I'm just worried to see how they're going to book this title and who will they book in this tournament and stuff like that. It was a struggle with them booking the women's tag title. So hopefully them booking the US titles and the IC titles aren't going to be such a struggle here. But definitely, I would not mind Dakota Kai being the inaugural champion. All right, so tonight's Raw was the go-home show to Survivor Series. As we all know, it's Survivor Series this weekend. And Monday Night Raw kicked off with a Gunther interview. He was interviewed in the middle of the ring tonight. He gets interrupted by Damian Priest, and let me see. It means the Women's World Champs will get more TV time off. That's true. They will book it good if they retire the women's tag titles. Okay, I can see why you say that. Now, this is actually a really good opening segment. I really like how, even though Damian Priest was saying all this stuff to Gunther didn't say anything. He just cheap-shotted him with the microphone. That razor's edge to Gunther through the announce table was freaking cool, if you ask me. And then Damian Priest standing over Gunther with the title and having him throw the title on Gunther, that's really good. And it's and I think Damian Priest is right. Everybody keeps saying that ever since Gunther took this loss to Cody, he hasn't been the same. And I agree. Maybe he's lost that aurora, that spark that made him the ring general. But this was a really great opening segment. They sold me this match for Survivor Series. We get a segment backstage with Bianca, Belair, and Naomi. And they're basically talking about who they think attacked Jade. Bianca says that once they find out who attacked Jade, they have to go after them. Now, if you know, history says it's probably Bianca because whoever finds the person is usually the person that attacked them. In this case, they showed the footage to Bianca. So maybe it is Bianca. They talk about who's going to be their fifth member. And I like how Io Sky shows up and she suggests Kairi Sane. Nobody wants Kairi Sane because they don't want any more damage control. Naomi suggests Bayley. And what I like about this is that, Bayley and Bianca have a history that goes back to when they were feuding for the women's title. And Bianca is just not happy with Naomi suggesting Bayley. Naomi tries to tell her Bayley has changed. Now, one of the things I like about this segment was that Rhea interrupts, and apparently this is Team Rhea. They had this confrontation between Bianca and Rhea. Now, if you guys remember back when Rhea was in Judgment Day, they had initially teased that feud, but didn't go anywhere. So I like the fact that they teased it here. And she asked Rhea, I think Bianca's the one who took Jade out. I think so too. I mean, it seems like it's pretty obvious. So Bianca asked Rhea who their fifth member is. She says she doesn't care as long as they leave her Liv Morgan. And one of the things I like here is like Bianca was acting differently. She was not acting like her usual self. She was acting like her old black and gold NXT self, where she was sarcastic about how it's great leadership and that she has to carry the entire team on her back since she has the advantage match against Nia Jax. So like, are we seeing small hints of a Bianca Belair heel turn here? I like how they acknowledge Bayley's heel pass. Same here. I like that too. So it's interesting. I mean, this was a really interesting segment and it caught my attention with the way Bianca was acting here. So like I said, I feel like it's obvious that Bianca attacked Jade and, and they'll do the Jade versus Bianca feud. But we have to wait and see. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not so obvious. We get a tornado tag match. It's American Made, represented by the Creed Brothers, versus the LWO, represented by Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. And I thought this was a pretty decent match. Bianca needs a heel turn. She's getting so as a babyface. I can see that. She's been babyface for a while now. So the way this finish was pretty interesting. So like Brutus accidentally crashed into the ref, and then like Chad Gable he didn't try to take off Rey Mysterio's mask. He twisted the mask around, essentially blinding Rey Mysterio. And so this allowed American Made to pick up the victory, which I thought was actually a pretty creative finish, because like normally they try to take the mask off in the time round. He just literally twisted the mask. So we get a Judgment Day segment, and Finn Balor seems to be kind of like, I don't want to say annoyed, but he seems to be kind of like irritated because he starts talking about how like Dom couldn't beat Priest, but now he's a step closer to the world title, and how they softened up the War Raiders for them. And R-Truth does show up and he gets yelled at by Finn Balor. So I think that this version of the Judgment Day is getting ready to implode sooner rather than later. We get Bron Breakker versus Ludwig Kaiser. This was a good match. Sheamus interrupted. Now, if you guys remember, Ludwig Kaiser attacked Sheamus during his IC title match, costing him the IC title, the one title that has been eluding Sheamus his entire career. And so because of that, like a brawl breaks out between Sheamus and Kaiser, and then Bron Breakker gets involved, and Adam Pearce makes it a triple threat match for the IC title, Bron Breakker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser, which I kind of saw coming too, because I feel like that's what this was heading. It's going to be at Survivor Series. We'll see if Sheamus can finally win the title that has so eluded him. We get an interview with the OG Bloodline without Roman Reigns. It's just Sami and the Usos. And they're talking about CM Punk. And can they trust CM Punk? Jimmy says that they can. And Jay has his advantage match on Friday. And we find out that Roman Reigns and CM Punk are going to talk this Friday on SmackDown. That's certainly going to be a can't-miss segment, that's for sure. You see, that spear that Bron did into the commentary was insane. Oh, yeah. Now you did call it being a triple threat. So that's going to be good. I cannot wait to see that segment. Oh, wait, no. Oh, I actually won't be watching SmackDown this weekend, this Friday. More on that later. We get the World Tag Team title matches, Judgment Day versus the War Raiders. Like, I honestly, genuinely thought the War Raiders were going to win this match, especially the way things were playing out. I thought they had it in the bag, but Judgment Day emerges victorious from here. So I feel like once they lose those tag titles, Judgment Day is pretty much headed for Splitsville. But It was a great match by the War Raiders. I'm so glad that they're back. Eric and Ivar are both very talented. And I hope that they win the tag titles again. So we find out that next Monday, the New Day celebrates their 10th anniversary. And it seems like Xavier Woods is, wants to squash their come over to my channel Friday for SmackDown isn't covering it. Yeah, you should go check out Michael's channel for the SmackDown review. Definitely won't be covering SmackDown this Friday because I'll be covering TNA's Turning Point on Friday exclusively on Body Slam. Eric and Ivar are over with the crowd. Yeah, they are. So this leads into the New Day versus Alpha Academy. This match was like super short. Like, if you didn't know it, but it was probably like an enhancement match. I would say that. But it was super short. But this match was more about the story than the match itself. Like, Kofi Kingston was supposed to start, but him and Xavier Woods were arguing. And Xavier Woods took it upon himself to start the match with Otis. And this ended up costing them. So Alpha Academy won. And what I like was what happened at the end. So they go back and they're just arguing with each other. And they just took shots at each other here. And, Xavier Woods was talking about how Kofi didn't listen to him. I like the fact that Kofi Kingston brought up the fact that Xavier Woods has never won a singles title. Xavier Woods bringing up Kofi Mania and him losing to Brock Lesnar. He said that he pissed away his title reign in 6 seconds to Brock Lesnar. I was like, dang, you went there. All this match did was to get another New Day loss for the breakup next week. Oh, yeah, they're definitely breaking up next week. So this was a really good segment between Xavier Woods and Big E. Come here next week and console your brothers. Between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. This was a really, really great segment. Like, you felt the tension between them. Like, I really do think they're going to implode next week. Because Xavier Woods has to turn on Kofi Kingston. Let's see. I hope not. All good things must come to an end. I didn't upload it to my StreamYards, but I found this clip where, like, 5 years ago, the New Day, they recreated the barbershop segment. Kofi was Sean and Woods was Marty Jannetty. So I question if that's going to reoccur next week. Best segment of the night between Kofi and Xavier Woods. Yes, it definitely was. Or we're going to see a repeat of the Festival of Friendship. Definitely, I think Xavier Woods is going to be turning on Kofi Kingston. Now, somebody said on Twitter, their Dragon Ball Z attire was a hint. Kofi was Goku and Xavier Woods was Dark Goku. I'm not too familiar with Dragon Ball Z, but apparently Dark Goku meant that it was like a hint of Xavier Woods turning heel next week. But I cannot wait to see that segment because you guys know weddings, celebrations, and contract signings never end well in wrestling. And that 10-year anniversary celebration is not going to end well. That should close Monday Night Raw, honestly. All right. So we get a Final Testament segment, and they're out looking for the Wyatt Six. They leave poor Scarlett alone in the locker room, and like Nikki Cross appears in the mirror. So when they come back, like the room is a mess, and she's attacking Cross without realizing it's him. When he asks her who did this, she says Nikki Cross. So they're definitely setting up a feud with the Wyatt Six and Final Testament. We get Nia Jax segment. She's talking to her team, saying that they basically have the advantage no matter who the other team picks because they're outnumbered 4-5. And we get a women's WarGames match. Women's WarGames advantage match is Bianca Belair versus Nia Jax. And this was a decent match. We did find out who the 5th member is supposed to be. Seems like it's supposed to be Bayley because she did help Bianca win this match. I actually really like the stare down between Jade and Bianca and Bayley. At the end, you guys know their history. and everything that Bayley put Bianca through. So Bianca Belair was victorious, and they win the advantage over the heels here. So overall, I thought this was a pretty decent Raw. As a go-home show, I was already going to watch Survivor Series, and I always feel like the purpose of the go-home show is to sell you the pay-per-view on the weekend. A 6 out of 10 okay show did nothing to hype us up for Survivor Series. Gives us on how the go-home show has to get you. I'm getting to it. Yeah, I've always felt that the purpose of the go-home show is to get you to watch the pay-per-view, to get you excited for the pay-per-view on the weekend. I'm already going to watch the pay-per-view regardless. But if I wasn't, even if I hadn't been watching Raw consistently for the last couple weeks, this show should have sold me Survivor Series. If I had other plans and I wasn't gonna watch Survivor Series, this show should have sold me Survivor Series. And I feel like it really didn't sell me Survivor Series that much. As a go-home show, I feel like this was a 6 out of 10 at best, because it was a decent Raw. As a go-home show, it was a 6 out of 10. As Raw by itself, if this was just your average run-of-the-mill Monday Night Raw, I think this would be. Hopefully, you want to do Survivor Series predictions. We'll talk about that because I'm already doing predictions with A+ your report on the WrestleManiac. So if I can squeeze you in, for sure. So by itself, I thought this was an 8 out of 10 Raw. I thought it was a pretty decent Raw, but as a go-home show, this is a 6 out of 10. So, alrighty. So with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you can notify whenever I go live or see a video. As far as tomorrow's concerned, I should be uploading a discussion that me and my friend Daniel did regarding Power Rangers Super Mega Force, the 10th anniversary of Legendary Battle, the extended edition. That should be out tomorrow if it uploads, because it's a pretty long video. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to review AEW Dynamite. Thursday, Thanksgiving, so I won't be covering TNA. Actually, there won't even be a TNA episode this week on Thursday. So on Friday, I will be covering TNA's Turning Point over on Body Slam. And with that being said, if you guys should check out my Power Rangers video tomorrow. But if I don't see you on Wednesday, then I'll see you guys Friday over on Body Slam. So thank you guys all so much for watching. And for the continued support, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you can know whenever I go live or there's a new video. I'll see you guys Wednesday after AEW Dynamite.